I'm really enjoying it so far. It's actually at a place where I think I'm starting to enjoy it because I'm like wanting to pick it up.
This book is driving me insane. Yeah, I really just want to finish this, but
Miss Frida did her thing, you know, with the story, for sure. Man, I don't know what it takes to be able to write books like these, because I don't know. I've heard people say this, and they're like, I don't know how to rate this book, and I always thought, really? I'm here. I picked up the first book of the Naturals to kind of disrupt that. That's exactly the author's words, okay? Don't come for me, because sometimes we try to summarize this the best for you guys, and then people will be like, oh, don't do that, and I'm like, okay. Hey Bookworms! Mom here, aka Sarah.
and Char.
We're currently in a Costco parking lot, and it's so funny because here is where I usually grab some books as well when I'm grocery shopping. But lately, like, I've been looking through with hubby, and I haven't really been seeing a ton that I want here because I kind of have a lot of what's there, and the others I'm just not interested right now.
Exactly. Oh, yeah? One that's actually there now is Reckless.
Oh, that you have?
That I have already, but if you guys had seen our vacation book haul, you would see I got it there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they have it here now for like $14. Why? But
hopefully you guys can hear us because it is kind of windy. It's a windy day, but it's actually a really nice day. It's a really good day for fall. As you can see, we're both kind of dressed for fall. Char in her Carhartt hat. I really love that hat.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like I said, we're in a parking lot. So
the background noise is gonna be loud at times.
Yeah, but we're in the car waiting for hubby. I don't know, I feel like he's gonna be quick because right now it's super busy, but he's only picking up a few things, so I'm hoping he'll go through the self-cash checkout real quick.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to book related stuff. I'm in here reading Beach Read. I think I told you guys that I was reading this one. I'm on page 77 and I'm really liking it. The story, I think I was explaining this before. I really don't know. I think we tried to film something before, so I hope I did. If I did, I'll insert it here. If I didn't, let's just say the story's it's going. I'm enjoying it. It's hard to determine right now if I think this is going to be a 5-star read because I'm not that, I feel like it's just starting to pick up where the main character has met her.
Oh, like the guy?
Yeah, the guy in it.
Okay.
So it's like it's just starting to pick up. Before it was just kind of giving a backstory of her life.
Okay. Yeah, like all the information at the beginning, and then finally it gets more into the story.
Yeah, more into the story. So I'm really enjoying it so far. It's actually at a place where I think I'm starting to enjoy it because I'm like wanting to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I don't mind even if I'm getting to sneak like a page or two in at times if I'm not getting to read enough.
Exactly.
I'm braiding Charlotte's hair right now. That's why she has a hat on, because the other half of her hair is not done.
No. But this is just from like a couple hours though.
Yeah.
Mom works fast.
So I'm braiding her hair right now, so I'm not reading in that time frame. And then I could be listening to an audio, but then we also talk. We watch stuff and talk a lot. So whenever I get a chance, I'll pick up this and I'll read a few pages in, and then when I'm back to normal, I'm gonna read through. But I'm enjoying it so far. What about you?
I currently am reading Assistant to the Villain, and I'm really liking it a lot. It's so fun. This is one of those books that brings very much like the fall vibes, just because it's like a fairy tale setting. Also, I picture the scene so vividly in my head. It's almost like a sitcom, kind of, because it's so funny. This is one that you also started, right?
I did.
I think it's a good one for you because like you're trying to get more into fantasy, right? And it's not too, I mean, it is fantasy, obviously. It's just not too like high fantasy or anything.
It
like,
isn't. It isn't because I started listening to it already. I was listening to it on audio, and so I got to hear it for myself, and I was really intrigued. I was listening and really loving it. The only thing is it wasn't my main book, so that's why there's like something passing overhead. Or is that a motorcycle? What is happening?
It wasn't like a for sure plane.
Yeah, but because it was my main book, that's why I was kind of on the side. It's the audio for me, so whenever I'm listening to those is when I'm like trying to get stuff done. Then I think our vacation read kind of just like got dumped in the middle of it, and then the audio had to be returned back to Cloud Library. So that's the only reason why I stopped reading it. But then I tried to get it back, and the wait list is so long because this darn book is so popular. And yeah, so that's kind of what the issue is. But the book is really good. I was really enjoying it. I think I was on chapter 4.
Okay, well, yeah. I think 2/3 of the way through this book.
Yeah. Did you start reading this book when we were on vacation?
I started, let me think, the day we went to the beach.
Okay, so are you much further than where you were that time?
Then that, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like right now, I am. Oh, I'm actually like here. Okay, so maybe like 2/3.
Okay, so you give them a quick summary of what this book is about. I feel like because I'm not a big fantasy girl, I don't want to summarize it incorrectly. You know what I mean? It's like trying something new. I'm like, I think I have a good idea of what it's about to summarize it because I remember the story and we could talk about it. But in terms of summarizing it, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Exactly. When I explain things, I go on about, but I'm gonna try and make it short for you guys. So basically, this girl, Evie, is given a job by the villain.
Yeah.
Right? Because when I say it's kind of like a sitcom, I mean like it's kind of like a sitcom, like The Office almost, because they're actual workers who work for the villain. And there's not a whole lot that I know about the plot. I know that he's trying to get revenge, but it's kind of like read, and as you go, you'll understand more.
Okay, so that's how I felt.
Yeah.
That's why in my mind, I'm like, I don't know how to summarize this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't know.
Like, if I was to summarize it, I would be like explaining what goes on
as it's happening.
But
yeah,
no, like read it, and honestly, it's just a really funny book. And if you kind of want to just chill and relax as you read, this is one, because you're not really stressed about is this character gonna do this or this, because you don't really know what's kind of gonna happen next.
No.
And you're pretty chill with it. I'm really chill with it, and I'm really just like loving who they are with the characters. And yeah, just the whole vibe is so fun as well. It's very fall, very cozy because of all the fairy
Why is
tale.
everyone pressing their cars like 5 times? Comment down below, let me know if you guys are one of those people and you're walking away, you're like okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Anyways, with Beach Read is really good. The main character, what's her name again? You said Evie and now it throws me off. I think isn't her name Anna? And then there's Gus. But she's like an author, and basically her father passed away and she inherited this home. But it's like a beach home, but it's not really on a beach home type thing. So she goes there to go and write. It's kind of weird because I feel like I don't want to go in depth and say certain things because I feel like it's going to tell you too much about the story. But she goes there to go write, and mind you, the inheritance that she received isn't like the most settling because it's inherited around a certain set of circumstances. As you read the book, you will find that out. So she goes there, and in her attempts to go like get this book all wrapped up that she's been procrastinating on for ages. Javi's here. She runs into Gus, who is a former like high school, I guess, enemy, and
nemesis.
Rival.
Char here, and it's been a couple days since you saw that clip of us in the car talking about some of the books. The one I was talking about was Assistant to the Villain, and Mom was talking about Beach Read, and yeah, so I just wanted to catch you up on a little bit of what we have been reading or what we read in between. I have actually 2 books with me right now, and from the red edges you can obviously tell that this is Assistant to the Villain, and I actually have not finished this. Why? Because I focused most of my attention to this book, As Good as Dead, and this is the 3rd book in the A Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Why? There's just so much with this book, and it's driving me insane. Like, I just want to finish this. I have less than 40 pages left to go. It's taken so long. Like, it's taken me almost a whole month to finish this book. Please tell me why. This one, Assistant to the Villain, I actually have not read a whole lot more since what you last saw. I'm like right here. So I have this much more to read. There's 340 pages in this book, and I'm only at page 209. So I still got over 100 pages left to go. But this was left on the back burner while I was reading As Good as Dead. And this book is driving me insane. I really just want to finish this so I can move on to other series, because the one that I really want to read right now is The Naturals. And I have this thing where I want to read one thriller at a time, because I feel like that just makes sense, right? So let's just see how far I can get into this one. Let's get on with reading. Right now I'm in my bed because it's just so comfy, and I have my heated blanket. Recently the whole fam and I were just sick, and we're just recovering from that, so this was amazing during that time. One reason why this book is just, I'm just not feeling it, is because I really liked Pip's character in the 1st book. 2nd book, mid. 3rd book is kind of down the drain a little. She's been through a lot in this trilogy, right? And so of course you can expect some character change, but I'm not liking where it's going. A lot of the other reviews I've seen, people are saying that this has a lot more dark elements, and I definitely agree with that. It's very different in terms of the vibe or like the feeling you get from it. That's one reason I'm not exactly enjoying it as much. One other thing too is that the 1st book was a 5-star read for me. The 2nd book was a 4.5, and this one, y'all, if I was to rate it right now, I would probably rate it like a 2.5. I'm not liking it at all. This book has just been so painful to get through, and I don't think I really enjoyed any parts of it. So again, let's just dive in and get through this. Kidding me? Art? Why? I'm not doing this right now. 3 books. That's nope. I'm done. Well, you guys saw me finish that book. And the pain right now. Oh, the pain. If you read that book, comment down below what rating you gave it, because yeah.
Hey Bookworm, Mom here, aka Sarah. Your girl just finished a book. I just finished The Teacher. I started this book yesterday and I'm done today. I have so many words right now. Like, oh my gosh, I have so many words for this book. I can't even tell you how I feel. It's just crazy. I did listen to audio as well as read in tandem. It was actually really good doing both, and I found it really nice reading along I've had this one for a minute, so I think I read the back when I first got it, but I haven't read the back in a long time. Like, I didn't read it knowing what I was getting into when I first started it. This one was really interesting to listen to, but the concept and the topic and the trauma was tough to hear at times. I, at times, was cringing as I was reading and just listening. I think the listening part was even harder. So anyways, I picked it up yesterday because after coming back from like my homeschooling co-op with my kids, I had so much housework to do, cleaning, laundry, cooking. And so what had happened was I was like, you know what, let me find myself an audio to listen to while I'm doing this, because it's been a minute since I listened to like a proper audio book. So I picked it up and I started listening to it, and I was very, very like intrigued. But like I said, I found as it got deeper and deeper into the subject matter, and just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's already hard enough trying to describe the books without telling too much, but then it's even harder when you're trying to describe like traumas. Let me read the back for you, so let's see if this gives anything. It goes, Eve has a good life. She gets up each day, gets a kiss from her husband, and heads off to teach math at the local high school. All is as is should be, except last year, Casham Height has rocked a scandal involving a student-teacher affair, with one student, Addie, at its center. But Eve knows there is far more of these ugly rumors that meets the eye. Addie can't be trusted. She lies. She hurts people. She destroys lives. At least that's what everyone says. There's more, but I'm going to kind of stop there. But the idea is this young girl, Addie, there's like a rumor, obviously, at the school that she was with another teacher, and it kind of destroys like his life. Not saying anything spoiler, that's literally on the back. In the midst of all that, Eve, the wife of this other teacher, who they both worked at the same school, she just kind of wrote off Addie as like she's a liar and all these things without forming her case, all because the man who was involved was kind of like a friend of hers. So that kind of just took the story for a turn. And then it just kind of goes crazy from then on. Like I said, the subject matter of this one, if you have trauma surrounding not just affairs, but trauma surrounding perpetrators, like pedophiles, because it definitely, teacher-student relationships should not be a thing. I did not even realize that that's what this book was about. Like I said, I had a hard time. Many a times I was like, oh, like just hearing the things that were being said or just the actions and certain things. It was just so hard. And it's just so sad that this stuff happens in real life. So that was very, very hard in ways. But overall, the book was good. It definitely was captivating. I'm going to tell you, this isn't one that I will keep. I don't want to keep this one. It just gives me, But Miss Frida did her thing by, with the story, for sure. Man, I don't know what it takes to be able to write books like these, because I don't know. But she did her thing with it, and I'm not mad at her. I enjoyed the book as in the thriller aspect, but I didn't like the book. There's just too much trauma that was in there that was just, for me, it was just a little too much. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of put that here, plant that somewhere. I finished this book in a day, and tandem reading along and listening to audio. That was good. I'm trying to figure out what my next book's going to be, but I am currently still reading Beach Read, and Beach Read was going slow for me. I'm curious to know what you guys think of that, because I found it to be going slow. I know lots of people raved about it, gave it stellar reviews, but it was going so slow. I think I'm like 175 pages in, and I'm like, okay, like when are we gonna get there? Like, what's to come? What's the highlight? Like, where is the good part? Because it's just been moving so slow. It is like a story, but a very slow story, and it's not doing anything for me. So reading this definitely got me there. I feel like Beach Read kind of put me in a slump, or maybe the book before, I don't remember what book I read before, had me in a slump. It's just been going so slow. I feel like I've been reading Beach Read for literally 3 weeks, and I'm not getting anywhere. And it's amazing that one can pick up a book that is fast paced and be done it in a day. So I think I'm gonna either find myself another thriller or just like a fast-paced book, because I need to do a little bit more reading. I've been in a bit of a slump, and I haven't been too pressed to get myself out, but I've not been exactly thrilled at the fact that I've only read two books in the time frame. I finished up Betting on You, which is another one I'll talk to you guys about. It's by Lynn Painter, and it's a YA, and I started reading it, and I think I was explaining that I couldn't get into it because it was so, I found it to be like super childish, even though YAs are exactly that, they are young adults, but I was having a hard time with the main character. And anyways, I put it aside, ended up picking it back up. I finished it. I would say I gave it a 3-star. It was all right, but yeah, didn't love that book. And I find it hard to rate this one, so I haven't given it a star. I don't know. I just finished it, so I need to let it sink in. Yeah. I need to let it sink in. So, yeah, let me go get my coffee. And I'm not a big coffee drinker. I was thinking of having coffee this morning, but I'm having oatmeal with like some fruits and nuts and stuff on it. And I am thinking of just having some tea with a protein shake inside, like a black tea with protein shake. Oh, while we're at it, I'm going to show you the mugs that Charlotte and I just got. So also while Charlotte and I were out, we went to HomeSense recently, and I found 2 books there. I'm debating if I should put it in here or keep it for the big haul. I might just show you guys a quick glimpse of it, but I will keep it for my big haul and I'll talk about it then. Yeah, so I found Colleen Hoover's Never Never there, which was really crazy. We were just like checking out, I don't know, we went there, definitely check out some books, and I wanted to get myself a planner because I like to plan for like my days. And I did get a planner. I should have brought that here. I'll show it to you guys after. But then I also embarked upon this book, Never Never. I'll go into details when I put it as a part of my haul. And look what I got. I finally got this one. A novel love story by Ashley Poston. So yeah, found that there. And then we also got ourselves a mug. Oh, I should have been doing this with Char. Maybe I'll wait till she comes and we'll do our unboxing. That would be fair.
Hey y'all, we are here.
Yeah.
It is us. It's a couple days later since you've seen those clips, and now we just want to summarize kind of what we've been doing in this vlog, because we've just been reading a whole lot of books. Some of the books that we've read you guys didn't even see. It just went really fast. Yeah. And yeah, so we're basically giving you guys a little mini update and just kind of closing the vlog on a conclusion, because I felt like, for me at least, I started off reading Beach Read in the book, and as you can see, there's still a bookmark in Beach Read because I got bored. I was like on page 155. I don't know what happened, but I was telling Char, I found it just such a drag to get through. There wasn't a whole lot that was being given, and so I just kind of felt bored along the way. So I ended up picking up The Teacher, which I told you that I read. So I'm not going to give you a big update on that because you guys saw that you guys heard how I felt about it. To this minute, I still don't know how to properly rate what I read. But it was a good read in the sense that it definitely kept me captivated. Yeah. Char didn't even know that I started reading it. I saw her go to the basement to get it from her shelf, and she opened it and she was more than halfway through. I'm like, did you start reading this before? Because I was just completely shocked.
When I picked it up, I was not at the halfway through because I started it on audio again. I haven't been listening to audios a ton. In fact, like even on Audible, I have like 5 of my credits available. You get one free credit every month. Really? And I have it free because it's just piling up because I don't even use it. Even through the other sources, I haven't been using my credits. I just haven't been reading as much, whether it's listening to the audiobook or reading it. I feel like this got me in like a reading slump. I was stuck on, I was gonna say stuck on stupid. I feel like I was just stuck. I was just reading so slow because it was so dragged out. So at one point I was like cooking in the kitchen. I'm like, I should actually be listening to a book. You create habits and routines for yourself, but then you fall out of them.
Yeah.
And so I had this good habit going of like multitasking, reading, listening to the audio while getting stuff done, but then I fell out of it quickly, you know, just get into the swing of things with being a mom of 5 and doing all the things. So I was just like, you know what? I was cooking and I was like, why am I not listening to a book right now? This is so boring. I'm standing in the kitchen cooking for like an hour and a half and I'm not doing anything. So I decided to go get myself a book, and that's how I started listening to the audiobook for this. Now when I did go and get the copy, I think I was on like chapter 6 or 7. I listened to up till then, and then I'd grab the book, but then I would try to pop the audio in whenever I was doing other things, anything that required me to multitask. I would cleaning and all those types of things, so I have so much of that to do all the time. So long story short, I read about half, and I read half and listened to half, and it was really good. I was telling Charlotte the format of this and the read of the book was like fire. I love the format of the actual book itself.
Yeah.
Really, really good. But the subject matter was just like whatever. So before I get into my 2, how about you tell us a little bit about yours?
Okay, so I began reading Assistant to the Villain. I don't even have it with me right now, but I'll just like insert it here. I haven't finished it yet because I put it on the back burner when I began reading As Good as Dead, and this was the last installment in the As Good Girl Guide to Murder series. Oh, so much for this book. It drove me insane. I'm just so happy to be done, honestly. You guys saw me finish the book, and there was just too much. I don't like how the series ended. Like, if I was to tell someone to read the series, I would say read the first book and then kind of be content, because the second and the third book, they're not very like happy endings to me, at least. You know, I rated this a 2.5. I didn't like it, and yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this book. I was basically just waiting to finish the series so I could just jump into the Naturals, and the day that I finished this book, I picked up the first book of the Naturals, and I read this in a day. Because it was really, really good. It felt like I was watching an episode of a show.
Yeah, I felt like that for her. I saw her, I was like, what? We sat there the night that she took it out, and I looked over. Within like an hour, I felt like this girl was on page 80. I was like, how dare you? Like, I was reading Beach Read for like 500 days, and at least that's what it felt like. And then you picked up that one and you were at page like 80 in like hours. That's how you know when the book's good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's how I felt for this one. This one took so long to get through. Like, you know how long I took reading this book, right? Like,
I feel like we were in the same predicament with our 2, and for me that was one I felt like that was going to be super good because of the hype. And I don't know about you, what was said about this one.
I thought that was gonna end on like some sort of hype too, or like with like some sort of big ending, but honestly it all felt very anticlimactic.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but this one was really good. I gave this one a 4.5. A little extra room, you know, for the other books, because I think the other books are gonna be really, really good. Yeah. This just sets it all up. I love the characters, like the cast of characters. It's all just really, really good. I love it.
Oh, that's
you should read
nice.
this one, because I think you would read it really, really fast.
Yeah.
It honestly feels like a show. Like you're just reading a show. It felt like a 20-minute episode. So yeah, really like this one. Finished this in a day, and the next day I picked up the second book, which is Killer Instinct, and I think I'm halfway through, a bit more than halfway through this book, maybe like there. I'm
sorry if you guys can hear our drain, and our ice machine is currently going in the background, so that's why what you're hearing, because we're filming in our kitchen. Yeah.
I mean, nice lighting and everything, but like the sound.
The sound effects are just doing the most.
But anyway, pick this up, almost done this one. Really excited to just move on with the whole series. I'm gonna try to continue on. It's really good. It's really good so far. Yeah.
There's 2 sides to it. People usually say, so sometimes when it's too good or when it's really, really good, you're like, no, I don't want it to finish yet. But for you, you're like just wanting to get it done.
I mean, like, it's not like I want to get it done. But it's like, I'm not really holding on to like, oh, like I don't want it to finish, because like, I really want to see what happens next, if that makes sense. Okay. Because I feel like it's just gonna continually build up to something at the very end, you know?
Okay.
It's a really good series so far.
Nice. Okay, so I just realized I kind of started that off wonky. Well, I kind of didn't. I think when I took a break from Beach Read, in between picking up The Teacher, I actually went back to this book. And if you guys remember, I was reading Betting on You at some point in the beginning, but I did put it on a big what do you call it? I put it on break. And then I tandem read this with my audio as well. Yes. But the thing with this is I did like the audio, but I still didn't fall in love with the book. Like, I didn't fall in love with it. The reason why I left it to begin with was because I was saying to Charlotte that I feel like for me, the characters didn't, they weren't, I don't want to say relatable, not that I'm always reading it for it to be relatable, but because they were so young, it was just like, it was getting too young for me a little bit. And I know it doesn't matter how old you are, you can always read a book about different characters at different ages, so that doesn't always play a role, but it all depends on how you feel as an individual as you're reading it.
Exactly.
For me, as I was reading it, I wasn't falling in love with the book, and I was kind of like getting the ick by the main female character girl. She got on my last nerve, and so she gave me the ick, and I put the book down, and then I just have this thing, Charlotte knows, I have this thing where I am very hesitant to DNFing a book. I'm one of those people who apparently love to torture myself. So I will read it and torture myself, and then I finally put it down. So I did put this one down, but I did tell myself I was gonna pick it back up. So your girl was true to herself. However, I say however because I think I gave it like a 3, so it's not like the end of the world, but I still
actually, that's better than I thought you were gonna give it.
Right?
That's better than I thought you were gonna give it.
The story was, it was alright, but like the main character, female, she just was so irritating and so just such a whiner. I was like, she's giving like, the thing is, I think they're supposed to be like, how old, like 18 or something like that.
I totally understand what you're saying, where it's like even the main characters aren't relatable because they would be closer to my age group, but even then you're just like, what the heck are they doing? Like, this is the most stupid thing I'm reading right now. Honestly, when you said you're gonna pick it back up, I was like,
surprised.
She's not gonna pick it back up anytime soon.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know that she finished the book until I saw, I think, a clip that you had filmed. And you said that you finished it, and I'm just like, what? Yeah. Oh yeah, she did. Exactly. I didn't even tell you. I just kind of went through it. I was like, oh, okay. I picked it up because I thought I was getting bored of beach read, so I was like, if I put something in between it, maybe it'll help break it up. And then I just kind of stuck steady with finishing up this one. I don't know if I gave you guys a synopsis of this one, but like what it said on the back is basically saying like Bailey's parents, I'm not going to read it word for word, I'm just going to summarize it using my brain. Bailey's parents came to like a sudden divorce, and she finds herself trapped for 10 hours with the main guy. I can't remember his name right now. I can't remember his name. Charlie?
But Charlie. She finds herself trapped with Charlie on an airplane because they're both leaving wherever they are, heading back to their home. And then lo and behold, Charlie ends up being her co-worker. I'm trying to summarize it because I was trying to not say things on my own that may be spoilers. But this is exactly what it says. Like, I would have probably said the same thing. Yeah. I just wouldn't, you wouldn't have thought it might be on there because she's summarizing it exactly the same. So anyway, she ends up working with Charlie and is around him, and they become a little bit flirty. But they pretend they don't like each other for however, and Charlie was still like semi in love with his ex-girlfriend, and this girl Bailey, she's still in love with her ex, who has moved like so far on, like so far miles and miles away on, and this girl is like hung up on like stupid. She just really got on my last nerve. And then Bailey's parents move on, and once again, this little summary that I'm giving you is basically what's said on the back. Both her parents have moved on. Her mom was trying to move on, and Bailey lives with her mom, and her mom just so happens to be her best friend. And Bailey felt like her mom's new boo was, do people don't say that anymore? Her mom's new guy was infringing on her and her mom's relationship, and so I think Charlie and whatever like came up with like a plot to kind of disrupt that. That's exactly the author's words. Okay, don't come for me, because sometimes we try to summarize this the best for you guys, and then people will be like, oh, don't do that, and I'm like, okay. I feel like I thought like I was trying my best, because we hear so many other booktubers kind of just say what they want to say, and I'm trying to be careful, and so it's really hard. We don't want to step on toes. We don't want to spoil it either, because we know what that's like, but definitely just trying to summarize it.
We do our best anyway to put like spoiler captions or anything, but if you guys know you don't want to hear a part or like section of a book, then we'll add like timestamps for you guys.
So yeah, that's the main synopsis of this book. And then at the end, Charlie has a secret of his own, and that was just like, okay.
Wait, what's the secret?
Big diggity whoop. Like, okay, Charlie. Okay. So I can't tell you on here, but Charlie had his own little mini secret, and it was just like, okay, yeah, right, all right. I just wanted this book to end, and I'm glad it did. So sorry for the long explanation, but I just wanted you to know kind of where I was at with that book. Let me know your guys' thoughts and how you felt when you read it. But it is a YA, so it's understood that, you know, some YAs are tricky. I've read a bunch of YAs that are so spot on, and then there are other times you read some that are just like,
yeah,
they're just not.
They're only mid, kind of, or they just don't vibe well sometimes, you know, things like that. Yeah, and I just think it's so funny because when looking at authors, obviously, I guess you can kind of expect their works to be very similar, right? Like Lynn Painter. That sounds very similar to Better Than the Movies. It sounds very similar in terms of guy and girl trying to help each other get with another person. And even with Jennifer Lynn Barnes, she has like a love triangle, and there's also a love triangle in her other series, The Inheritance Games. And you're like, you really love these love triangles, huh? I was like, okay. But I think it's really interesting. Are you gonna try any of her other books?
Yeah, I do have an adult version, the adult Lynn Painter too, which is different. So I'm very excited to try that because that is not, it's not a YA, and I want to kind of see what her adult read is like overall. It's not her writing style, it was more so her book. So I feel like my love for her next book will probably dependent on how she curates her female character. Not that it's not even about female or male, it's just that the male ones are usually, they're not as problematic as what I usually get. It's always the female characters that seem to be so problematic. They're like either over the top whiny or just like can't get past in some area, you know what I mean?
I completely understand, because in her other book I didn't like the main girl. Just times, you know.
Gosh.
Not saying they're overall is like super annoying and you hate them, but it's just like, okay, should you have made that decision? Should you? But
should you? Exactly. Oh, how about we show them our mug that we bought? So while we were book shopping, we went to, we also took another trip to HomeSense. HomeSense, if you're watching, you could sponsor a girl because we live in Canada and we love it here, okay? While we were perusing through, I don't know why we didn't film any footage this night, but we were perusing through with our family. The entire family was like basically there late because I don't know why their hours are extended at the current moment, like how and why. It was a Sunday and they're open till 9. So we were there pretty late and checking out their book section. So we ended up grabbing a couple of books, but we also found mugs. We found these mugs. Mine says thankful and blessed, and I just took out my price tag when I washed it. Mine was $5.99. Yours was $7.99.
It's like, just the bigger space.
Bigger space. But those are amazing prices for mugs, y'all. Like, look at that. And there are fall themed mugs.
Bring in the fall vibes, y'all.
I'm drinking iced water. And she's drinking tea. Where are they doing that in this fall? Anyways, while you drink your tea, I will discuss the next book that I just wrapped up, and it was Frederick Bachman's Anxious People. Ask me how I got here. I don't know. I think I just gravitated towards picking this one up just because it was just screaming fall to me.
Yeah.
That's like the main reason.
It really does, actually. I think it's just the blue and the orange put together. It brings...
Yeah, I don't know what it is because I never really gave it a lot of thought. I was just like, oh, let's pick up. And I think I know within myself, because our TBR is so extensive, I know that I don't want to go and waste a lot of time going dun, 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 dun. That was supposed to be the theme of Jeopardy. That sounded so off. Ignore that. Ignore that.
We'll insert the theme here.
But I'm like, I don't want to take forever, so I was kind of just like, okay, I'm gonna grab this one. That's how I approached it, and I picked up this one. I told Charlotte when I was done this one, I was like, I don't know. Actually, midway through, I was like, you know what, I think I might end up reading this book again, just because there's so many characters and there's a lot going on all the time. And I feel like there's going to be a lot that you will not even just miss, but if you reread it, it's going to be like, oh, really? You know what I mean with certain things? As I got towards the end, though, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I reading? Bachman, this is my first Frederick Bachman's book, so I can understand this guy. Like, I love this book. And then there are aspects of this book that I didn't like.
It's also like one of the strangest books you've ever read in your life.
Strangest book. I love it because I'm a psych major, so I love understanding people's thought process. So this book did it for me when it comes to that, because there's so many different things that are happening, and then what he does is then kind of dive into the people's thought process as to why they did it and why they thought of it and how the action came to be in the first place. I love that aspect of it because that's what psychology is all about, studying people's minds. But then there are characters in this, there are things in there that was just kind of like, huh? Like what?
Yeah.
And the characters, there are a few annoying characters in here that were just, once again, like, wow. And there were the female characters, of course. But on a whole, like I love his writing. I told Charlotte, I'm like, now I'm excited to pick up Beartown because I can see wherein he's not the problem.
Yeah.
He was not the problem in this book. His writing style is great. I love it because he just writes from like a sound mind. You can tell. Okay, thanks, Ice. He writes from a very sound mind, and he just he understands people. You can tell that because that comes through in his writing. And he described a lot of these characters as like how they'd be, but then there are some of the characters in there that was just like so ditzy, like beyond ditzy. It was just so
What are you gonna say?
I'll say dramatic, and I can't even, I told Charlotte I have no words. I don't know how to categorize this book yet. So as for now, I've heard people say this and they're like, I don't know how to rate this book, and I always thought, really? I'm here. I am here. I'm like,
now you understand.
I think on Goodreads I gave it a 3, but that's like an impromptu 3, like it's subject to change.
Yeah, it's just like a 3 is like a neutral, where it's
neutral.
like, okay, I didn't exactly like it, but I didn't hate it, so just like somewhere around the middle part.
I think it's a 3 just because you can't give it a higher. I was gonna give it like a 3.5 because in general I liked it, and I will keep this book. I will keep this book because there are parts of it that I will read that will be comical, but then there are parts of it that's just like it's just, I don't know how to describe it. But let me tell you guys, a poignant comedy about a crime that never took place. Think about that. A would-be bank robber who disappears into thin air, and 8 extremely anxious strangers who find they have more in common than they ever imagined.
Ooh. It's like a lot of characters though.
Yeah, it's a lot of characters.
8.
And you can already hear like the complexity in it, like a crime that never took place, a would-be bank robber who disappears into thin air. Yeah. Anyways, that summarizes my reading so far. I just finished this last night, and I'm actually about to pick up a new book. So we'll see which ones I pick up. I didn't have one in mind yet. I might come to you guys on here and ask you what book to pick up maybe after next, because by the time you guys see this I would have probably picked up something. We'll see, maybe not, because this is going up today, and so maybe you guys will see it. Yeah, so anyways, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I think it was really fun. I am behind on my Goodreads goal. I am behind. We have the same goal, right? We have like 50 books, but yeah. I've read like, I think like 32 maybe.
That's not bad. You're not far off.
Not too far off, but it's just like staring at me, it's like you're 3 missed books. And it's like, I'm trying, stop. And I feel like this has like really gotten me further in there. Like, you know, 2 books down, and then
you read 2 in like not even a week.
I'm pretty happy.
Pretty good. Happy. So yeah, mine is just on, so I've just accomplished 36 books, which I'm so grateful for, and hopefully I'm out of the slump. So I would say the teacher definitely got me out of the slump, because it just had me going like, what? Like, whoa. Like, it's like you're falling asleep and then something comes on and just wakes you all the way up. Yeah, the teacher did that for me. I don't know, like, I don't know why, but I think
it's just like so shocking.
So shocking.
It just like shocks you out of your reading slump. And you're just like, what? And you gotta learn more.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, I find thrillers always just get you.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking of starting my next read off with a thriller, because the thrillers just kickstart you and get you going. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content, and
we'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Stop it.
What is going on? I can't.
I think it's a 3.